one of my most favourite guys that I ever got to work with, and I was so disappointed that I only ever got to work with him once, Stuart Neal. Genuinely, the funniest guy, probably not in my life, but that I've personally met. Stuart was absolutely hilarious in this match. I'm pretty sure that this match was his final match that he did for K-Star. I had the honour of that. And I had such a good laugh working with him. We had so many like backstage jokes of what we basically did within this match. And he was so funny to work with. This man's power has no limit, god damn it. I fucking love Stuart Neal. Still looking back at... Oh, let me pause that there. Let me pause that. Who are these two sexy guys here? That's Michael Doyle and that's Ash Dennis. They were my two closest friends from back in school. Da 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 da. It was just his reactions, like Stuart's actions of just like like this sort of stuff. I don't know what it was. I just found him really funny. Yes. Come on, yeah. Generic face entrance. The crowd erupts! The crowd erupts! God, I was so athletic then. Could not do that now. Oh, and again, there you are. Before the camera switches. There's my nan. My nan's going mental. She's loving it. And again, my uncle, my cousin Stephen, my cousin Rachel, her two friends. They used to love coming to my shows. Oh, such faces! They were cheering us so mad. Give me a high five or something. Some shitty pose in the ring. Don't know why we did that. It looks so stupid. Even them two in the outside of the ring. Oh, I gave my shirt to Ash. I think he gave me back. I needed that. It cost me like a tenner. Couldn't afford to give away a tenner like that. At least he's taking the shirts off. It's just the way that Stuart just like shakes his head. Kick his ass, Flash. This is King's Standing, one of the not so nice areas of Birmingham. And you'll hear a lot of the crowd, the children of the crowd, ages ranged between like 6 and 13, 14 years old. And they're just shouting stuff that you'd never think that. As far as I remember, Kid Flash, his real name is Craig. Back then, like me and him were like proper best mates, inside and outside the ring. We used to hang out with each other a lot, and he was lucky enough to like wrestle with Stuart a lot. It's basically what happened. The storyline being was Stuart Neal used to be Kid Flash, and then Craig took the mask from him. Because Stuart was just tired of wearing the mask, he didn't like wearing it. So he wrestled with him a fair few times on the show, and a lot in the training sessions on Sundays. So these two guys had like proper natural chemistry together. Kicked the disco lamp. I remember at this point I was having so much more fun than what I was usually having at K-Star shows. I think it's just because more of a confidence thing. I just basically knew what I was doing a lot more. Like I was reacting to what was happening inside the ring, and like, you know, it's basically saying to the ref, look out. And then I knew when to work the crowd. So like later on, probably I think I take the beat down in this match. But I realised when my partner was being beaten down and when he was starting to get the momentum back, was the perfect time for me to start like shouting to the crowds to get onto the sides. Like, nah, there you go. It was just the right time. He was going for a tag. He needs some help. He needs some momentum. Come on. Flash. Classic. What a heel. Stuart went far too early. I think it was actually. I remember. Probably 2 or 3 shows, like 2 or 3 months before this. Oh, okay. I think it's coming up. I can't remember this match, but Kid Flash, Craig, basically broke his wrist from a guy called Brandon Thomas, who was very reckless. inside the ring, and he threw him outside of the top rope down to the bottom of the floor, and Craig didn't know how to bump. This is very Rockers. Shawn Michaels, Mighty Jannetty-esque. They didn't do that, but it was very, very styled. And so yeah, basically Brandon Thomas threw Craig over the top rope, and he landed on the floor, and he didn't break his wrist. He fractured it heavily. It probably wasn't this match. I think it was another one. But I remember when Kid Flash went over the top rope and did a double body fucking, what's it called, over the top rope onto the two heels. Hey, there you go. A bit of comedy in the match now. Pulling his trousers down. He's a stupid heel. He doesn't know. Do it again. Wee. And I was just really nervous. I didn't like him doing that. I was very protective over Craig. Me and him were very close mates. He nearly sat on Mark Clark's face. Jesus shit, that's dangerous. I was very protective over Craig. Me and him were very, very close mates, and I didn't want him to do anything like that, just simply because of his wrist, but he did it anyway. I can't remember if it actually was this match. I think it was. Oh, you heel. Pulling up my short, man. Trousers. And the funny heel part. He's celebrating with his trousers down. You're an idiot, you stupid heel. This was one of the reasons why I loved working with Mark Clark, because he was so happy to make a fool of himself. He didn't care. As long as it was entertaining, he would literally do anything. This was another inside joke. I won't go into too much detail, but this is basically a sexual innuendo, and he was shouting expletives at me at this point, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was fucking hilarious. He shouldn't do that. As a heel, you're meant to be getting the ref on your side so you can do dirty things behind the ref's back. If the ref catches you, he'll be more inclined to be like, don't worry, you've been really cool with me recently. But that's sometimes of what doesn't really happen in the ring. I just heard one of the kids in the audience just shout out to Mark, get yourself a haircut, whilst I'm the one in the ring which has probably got the same length or just as much hair as what he has. So does that mean that I got to get him a haircut too? I used to love working with Mark so much. He was so much fun. Another kid in the audience just shouts, "Gay!" Typical King Standing. Imagine this in 2018. You're homophobic. Ah! The crowd's proper popping for me. Basically what happens in tag matches is one of the guys gets a beat down from the heels, the face gets a beat down from the heels, and then the face later on comes back and basically saves the match, and then it can go either the way if the face or heel goes over. And this is one of the spots that I love doing, but I hate performing. When they told me about it backstage, I was like, so basically, you grab him, I'll chop his front, then vice versa, you chop his back, and then those two chops fucking stung. They hurt so much. And then, basically classic. Shawn Michaels kip up, neck breaker, kick, DDT, boom shakalaka. And then Stuart completely oversells it. I fucking loved working with him so much. Stupid things like that just made me laugh so much. Honestly, Craig was so athletic. It was such a shame that he decided to stop. Reasons being, I'll keep to myself. But I wish so much that he carried on. So basically, Craig stopped in. I don't know. It was probably more or less this. This might have been Craig's final match, actually. If this was December 2008, I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I think it was February. And it was shortly before. I think it was like a month. It was probably the January or something. The next month of when this event happened is when Craig just basically left. And terrible high five attempt. Yes, it was here. So basically, Craig fucked his wrist up. And I hated him doing this. And you can see me checking a mark. No, actually it wasn't this. Because I remember straight away going over to Craig and making sure that he was okay. It wasn't this match, it was a different one. So Craig stopped wrestling probably the following month after this. This would have been December 2008, and he must have stopped early January, he must have been. Because then I went to Atlanta, Georgia in February, and I was meant to be going with him. All politics aside, we're all friends now. Shit happened, and it was what it was. Nice. Practice that a lot in the gym. Alabama Slam. Get up the top rope. My finish was the Alabama. Kid Flashes was the Frog Splash. Eddie Guerrero style. I always told him to do in terms of the D'Lo Brown style, but he didn't want to do it. He wanted to do Eddie Guerrero. Way! All the way from Tipton. The entire 10 miles from Tipton to King's Standing. You're going to hear this many times in this match, but this is my favourite tag team I've ever actually gone up against. Both Lee and Jim. Back in these days, they were heels. Now they're entire faces. Bloody, I don't know, long time. And they were Cervantes and Salvador Hunter. That was it. Oh, they were just so good. With a crowd of, I don't know, probably about 60, 70 people. Which for a small little promotion is what K-Star is. Decent crowd. And they were just... There's Ash. Whee! he always came to my show, him and Doyle. The Enigmatic Sensations! These were my favourite tag team that I've ever went up against. Oh, such a face. People booing me. Oh, look at... Oh, I remember that. Some guy with a drink just wouldn't let Flash go. Fucking mental. That was a good high five. I'll take that. High 10. Me and Craig mastered it. It probably took about a year, but we mastered the high five. And a cringy pose. I remember doing that, and I remember looking back on it going, what did I do that for? I remember throwing my shirt back, and then Craig asked me, where'd you throw the shirt? I went back there. I went, oh, okay. You'll see why I loved working with these guys so much. This match was just fun. It was such a good laugh. This was, in my opinion, the high point of my K-Star career. It was just fun. Every match that I was having with Craig as a tag team, which I never really saw myself as a tag team. I always liked being a single guy. When Craig's wrist was fractured, and we did. I did the drop the crossbody from the top, and then Craig did one. The reason why we did that was because of Craig's wrist, and so then he's got all three of us catching him rather than just two people, because his right wrist, I think it was. I can't remember, but he fractured it, and all three of us. And then you'll see me just roll over to him now. Are you okay? Just make sure that he went, yeah, fine. Like, really, like, back off me, I'm fine. His Lonsdale boxers. I don't know why he didn't, like, drawstring his things up, his trousers up. Steve Allen. I never really worked out who that is. Okay, Google. Who is Steve Allen?
Stephen Allen is an English radio presenter. He hosts the early morning breakfast show on LBC 97.
Yeah. Well, this was over 15 years ago. And that picture looks nothing like... did they say it to Jim or Lee? I think it's to Lee. Lee's the one in the ring, Jim's on the outside. Oh, that was Rucker's. That was Rucker-esque. I basically stole that from the Ruckers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Dirty rake to the face in front of the ref. Hit us. Nice. And these guys were just pros at bumping. You could have botched a move. It doesn't matter, that they would have made it look so good anyway. These guys were just amazing at putting people over. Use your tags. A bit of advice from the crowd. This was when this is how old this match was. The smoking ban was like 2007, was it? Or I don't know, 2008 maybe. and somebody smoking in the audience. I remembered hating that because it was so difficult wrestling and breathing in people's smoke and the whole room stunk. And it's weird as well. Pause that. I've genuinely just noticed. That's actually, is that Mike and Sarah? It possibly was Mike and Sarah. That's my brother and my now sister-in-law. And Flash is, he's just so good. He botched that because Jim wasn't meant to go from the other side. He was meant to pin, so his legs were facing outwards that way. But he tag! Made the tag! Flash, tag me. I was there shouting, Flash, tag me. I was meant to make the tag now, and then this was meant to happen. Clotheslines. Looking back on this match, there were so many stupid little botches, but it's still my favourite match that I think I've ever done. No, backdrop. I remember saying to him backstage, I wanted to do that, and I thought it was called a backdrop, which you pick him up, back, drop. But he thought that I was saying the thrown over the head. I love my suplexes. I took so many suplexes from like Taz and Angle, I think it was. I used to just love doing suplexes because no one else in K-Star at that point even bothered doing suplexes. So I always tried to fit in 3. It was always the butterfly, which was that one. Oh, nice clothesline. I think that really hit me. I always tried to do the butterfly, regular suplex, and I think it was the German. I always tried to do those 3. Whoever the cameraman was needs to be sacked. My bumps were awful. What was that? Nice. Go on, Jim. Or Salvador at this point. Oh, come on, ref. Have a word. Playing up. Take a punch. I used to love the King Standing crowd. Some of the stuff of what they'd shout out was just funny. The crowd were against me. Come on, just finish them off. I've done with it. Psychology-wise, why doesn't Flash just get out the ring and then that'll be faster for the ref to turn round? Wrestling logic. Loser. Oh, you're a cheat, Salvador. I think he actually really strangled me on that as well. I'm only joking with it all. That both of the Hunters were like the safest people that I've ever worked with. Although I remember taking this and it really hurt my stomach. No, it's not. This is another move coming up. He puts me on the rope and I was on it on a really awkward manner, and the rope was really digging into my stomach. Couldn't breathe. It hurt a fair bit. But because it was the Hunters, I manned it out. Oh, the hair ref. I do love the crowd. Try and make the tag. You can't make the tag. Salvador jumps in. Why, yeah. Why, Ayada? I think that was the only offence that I bothered getting on Salvador. Oh, it was here now. He puts me on the rope really awkwardly and I couldn't breathe. I didn't know where he was going either, which is why I landed on the rope so awkwardly. I thought he was going to give me a suplex, but that wasn't it. And I enjoyed taking that. Threw myself over and, yeah. Crowd's bored of cheering for me now. Taking that much of a beat down, and I've shown no shine at all. Or am I? I remember it because I botched that and he proper hit me. He proper hit me for that. I didn't know where he was putting me. Putting me onto the top rope and I didn't know. Clocked me one for it. Probably my one and only offense on Jim. Swanton! Pretty messy, I barely touched him too. Come on, Dan! Because I knew I was making the tag now. Spoiler alert. It's been 15 years, you should have watched it by now. I was asking him then if I made the tag and he went no. I couldn't remember if this was another cut-off. Like, really teased the crowd. Just a real simple one. And crack. Nice enziguri. Now you can make the tag, come on. And Flash enters the ring nice and fresh. Takes them both down. I think it was just like one simple, well I say one simple, it was one move, which was the very last move. He moves forward for him. The very last move is a move that me and Flash didn't even practice once in the gym. the hunter said, like, you need a big flashy move to finish this. And I was like, what do you want to do? He goes, just name a few, like, tag team maneuvers. And I was like, okay, how about the Doomsday device? And I made a massive recovery out of nowhere just to give him a hoe train. There's someone in the crowd, hoe train! And Alabama to take out Salvador. The big move's coming up now. And we just thought, we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. Doomsday device coming out of the 619. And it paid out. We just nailed it so... And Lee sold the move so well. Flash hit it so good. Boom. 1, 2, tag team titles have come home. We finally did it. We've got the titles off of the Hunters. The greatest tag team in K-Star history. Remember those belts look so shit. They just look like... They just look so bad. It's so small. He completely blanked me. I tried to, like, belt to belt bro fist him and he completely ignored me. Tried it again. Did it with his fist. I wanted his belt to belt. But whatevs.